What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I put together a very special build for y'all, in which I'm calling the two-way 3-level lockdown, and this build is going to come out to a two-way 3-level threat. Now this one is going to be coming out of the shooting guard position, and out of all NBA players, it's going to be reminding me of NBA star Scottie Barnes. Now with this build today, we'll get a 99 plus when it comes towards our close shot, standing dunk, mid-range shot, perimeter defense, steal, block, and stamina. Now we also do have the potential to get standing contact dunks as well as some of the actual contact dunk packages. And on top of that, we'll also get some other related dunk packages. As far as for the badges, we're going to get a total of 44. Now for this build today, it's a very elite defensive threat. Perfect all-around build for anybody, especially on the offensive side. And this build is a very cheesy interior post-scoring build, especially when it comes to actual post-hooking. Now it's a very unique shooting guard and lockdown defender. And as far as for the playmaking, this really depends on your own skillfulness. Look at the gameplay and how I'm moving with this build. I'm telling y'all, I'll go ahead and show you just exactly how to go ahead and move as I'm showing with the rating that I do drop today. So look, before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that you want to go ahead and do, if you were listening, we're going to put this build under the shooting guard position. As for the height, let's go with 6'7". Moving into that weight, I'm going to go with 180, and then for that wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'4" today. Now I think this is going to be the absolute best for anybody moving forward if you're looking to make one of the best and most unique post-scoring lockdown defenders. Now let's go ahead and first get started when it comes towards our physicals. So as for that speed, I'm going to put this all the way up to an 81. Getting into the actual acceleration, I'm going to put this up to an 82. And then for that strength, I like this best at a 65. Now for that vertical, let's go with a 75. And then for the stamina, to wrap everything up, let's go with a 99. Now remember, if you do your Gatorade facility workouts, that means you're going to get a +4. And the 4 stars means you get a 4 added towards your physicals. So we're going to have that 99 stamina, 79 vertical, 69 when it comes to our strength, 86 acceleration with an 85 speed. Very special build all around. I think it's one of the best that you can possibly make. Now from here, let's go ahead and get started with the defensive end. So as for the offensive and defensive rebound, this is really optional. I decided to put this up just to a 53. Now we're really going to focus on these top areas right here. So as for that interior, 66 is going to be more than enough for this build. As for the actual perimeter, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 98. Moving into our steal, I'm going to go with a 91. And then for our block, put this all the way up to an 85. Now we're going to get a lot of special badges. As you can see, the ones that I like are going to be silver chase down artists. You're also going to get pogo stick, bronze anchor. Now for the steal, all of these are going to be gold. We get right stick gripper, interceptor, and glove. And this is really going to make this build a headache if you happen to go ahead and line up against this build. Now for the perimeter defense, we get gold clamps. And then we get Hall of Fame 94 feet, ankle braces, challenger, fast feet, pick dodger, workhorse, and off-ball pass. Overall, I think this is one of the best defenders on any team that you can make this year for next gen. Now for that interior, we do get Hall of Fame workhorse. The bronze anchor will make that difference like I mentioned earlier. I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this build. Is there anything that you would possibly do to change or make it a little bit better so far? But as far as for these defensive stats, I really think we're special in this area. Now as for the playmaking, go ahead and put your pass accuracy up to a 68. Now this is what we're going to leave the build as is. Now you can go ahead and change anything to your own liking and preference, but I really do believe that this is going to be one of the best things to make, because if you take into account the fact that you're able to activate your takeover, you get a huge boost put towards this area. Now take into account if you do buy your own boost and activate your takeover, your pass accuracy will go at least into the 70s, possibly even the 80s. Now from here, you're going to get the badges, a dimer, relay passer, and I think break starter is going to be more than enough to be effective. Now from here, let's go ahead and get started with the shooting. So as for the mid-range shot, I decided to put this all the way up to an 86. Moving on to the three-pointer, I'm going to go with a 79. And then for the free throw, I like this best at an 81. Now right here we get a good selection of badges. As you can see, we get silver blinders, Deadeye, green machine, and space creator. Then you also get gold catch and shoot, spot finder, guard up, midi magician, open looks, and whistle with Hall of Fame comeback kid. Very special build when it comes to the interior, especially once we show you what you're looking like on that interior for the finishing. Now for the three-pointer, we're going to get some special badges here as well. You get silver Deadeye, bronze agent 3, corner specialist, a little bit more of the same on this end of the floor, but I promise you, this is one of the best builds that you can make at the lockdown defender position. Now for that free throw rating, I did go with an 81. Silver free points is going to allow you to knock down free throws at ease, especially when it comes to this build on the offensive end. I don't think we're lacking because we're going to get into that finishing. So as for that close shot, let's go ahead and put this up to a 90. Moving into the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 48. As for that driving dunk, I'm going to go with a 68. Now for the standing dunk to wrap everything up, let's go ahead and put this all the way up to a 90. Now if you have a few remaining leftover attributes, one thing that I do want to mention, this build is very specific. And once we max this out, we should have a few remaining leftover attributes. Now you'll be able to get a few extra upgraded dunk packages if you upgrade it towards your driving dunk. You also get bronze slithery. Overall for this build, I think it has everything and more needed to be effective. For the remaining attributes, put it into your free throw or possibly even anywhere towards your defensive end. If you want to put it towards the interior, even better idea. Possibly even anywhere on the playmaking, it really comes down to your preference of choice. Now I want to leave you the most options available and possible. I want to be sure that each time I'm bringing y'all the best builds and what we can operate with, especially when it comes to attributes, badges, and animations. So let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. Now we should be getting these three different comparisons. As you can see, we're going to get Doug Christie, Miles Bridges, and then also Derek White. And then as y'all can see, we have created the two-way 3-level lockdown coming out to the two-way 3-level threat. This is a low-key catfish post-score build, especially with that high close shot rating. Now thank you so much for your support. God bless every single one of you. Add everything up when it comes to activating your takeover, buying boost, wearing gear, and possibly even playing well throughout each game. You get a minor boost, which I think is going to take this build to the next level. So man, I just gotta say thank you God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.